Hello. Today, we'll be writing some code together. And today, finally, our spaceship will start moving. Here we go. Let's make the bottom working area wider. And we'll open up the node editor in it. Don't confuse it with the geometry node editor. So, we need to create a new script. To do that, just click on the new button. And immediately rename the new script. Let's call it player input. All logical branches names must start with a capital letter. In this script, we will gather all the reactions of our spaceship to keyboard and mouse input. The first thing we'll make it do is move forward. To move across the screen, we'll use the standard template of forward, backward, left, and right. Like in a first-person shooter game or like in Minecraft, depending on what's more familiar to you. All nodes related to the keyboard are hidden in the input section. So, press Shift-A. Open the input section and select keyboard. Place this node on the canvas. It has two options. In the bottom one, we will choose the key. To move forward, we'll use the W key. Click on the arrow and select it from the list. Alternatively, open the list and press the desired key on the keyboard. In the top option, we should leave it in the down mode. This means the block will trigger continuously while the key is pressed. If you change the mode to started, then the block will trigger only once when the key is pressed. To trigger it again, you'll have to release the key and press it again. In that case, for object movement, you would need to keep pressing and releasing the key constantly. Let's save our keyboard and leave it in the down mode. Now, we need to define what action should be performed when this block triggers. Since we want to move our spaceship, we'll look for the relevant node in the transform section. The best option for our game would be the translate object block. Let's take a closer look at this block. We'll start with the inputs. There are three of them. The first input, in, receives the signal that activates this block. In our case, if we connect the forward key press to this input, it means this block will work as long as the forward key is pressed. If we release the key, this block will stop working and wait for the key to be pressed again. The second input is called object, and it's not mandatory to connect anything to it. If we want to move an object using this block, we can specify the object directly in the block by selecting it from the list of objects. Or, if the list is long, and you don't want to strain your eyes searching for the right name, you can use the picker and select the desired object directly in the viewport. But if you have reasons, or just want to, you can specify the object using the input. For example, like this. If you need the object to which the current script is connected, you can leave this field empty. The next input is called vector, and it consists of three values, x, y, and z. Of course, we can specify all the necessary values directly here in the block. But sometimes, we'll have to connect other blocks to this input. Let's get back to our control. We want the spaceship to move forward when the forward key is pressed. So, we need to determine where forward is for us. The spaceship will move along the global axis. If we select our base and enable the gizmo and check that the global coordinate system is set in the settings, we'll see that moving forward means moving along the y-axis in the positive direction. There. On our block, the y-coordinate occupies the second row. This means we should enter a positive value there that will move our spaceship each frame. Let's start with small values, otherwise, our spaceship will zoom away so fast and so far that we won't even have time to understand what happened. You'll be sitting there, scratching your head, wondering why the spaceship disappears instead of moving. I think we can start with a value of 1000. Try running the game and move the ship using the W key. What? Nothing is happening. That's right. It's because the script you wrote is not yet connected to our spaceship. So, let's make sure the spaceship base is selected and go to Object Properties. Find the Armory Traits section and click the plus sign to create a new branch. In the Open menu, we need to specify what we want to connect. Naturally, select Nodes and confirm with OK. That's not all. Now, we need to specify which node branch we want to connect. Click in the selection field and choose our only branch for now, named Player Input. Now you can restart the game and enjoy the action. Press the W key and our spaceship moves forward. Awesome, right? But that's enough playing. Let's go back to the node editor and add backward movement. All you need to do is select the existing blocks and copy them using Shift-D. Why not Ctrl-C? Because Shift-D is cooler. Place the new nodes side by side. Choose the S key and change the value to negative. -1000. Now copy all the blocks again. Place them nearby. Change the keys to A and D. The A key will be responsible for moving left. And if we take a close look at our scene, we'll see that to move left, we need to move the object along the x-axis in the negative direction. Accordingly, moving right means positive values. Enter -1000 for the A key and +1000 for the D key. Don't forget to zero out the y-axis. It's not involved in left-right movement. Now you can start the game and play for 20 or 30 minutes. Now, let's think about what if the movement speed isn't satisfactory. If we want to make our spaceship faster, we'll have to change 4 values in 4 different places. I suggest making this scheme a bit more complex and doing it like the grown-up bearded folks. You'll have to realize and accept the fact that you can't just connect a numerical value to an input. For example, like this. First, because you need a negative value onto nodes, and second, you need not just a float. You need a vector. And a vector consists of 3 values, x, y, and z. It doesn't matter what they are called, the main thing is that there are 3 of them. For vector values, we can use the vector block from the variables section. This block has one output that you should connect to the vector input on the translate object block. Now, enter the desired value in the appropriate field on the vector block. Copy the vector block 3 more times and connect them to all the translate object blocks. Enter the necessary values in the appropriate fields. And nothing will change. We've ended up with the same as before. To make sure of this, start the game and test all the keys. If something doesn't work or works incorrectly, go back to the script and double-check all the values, axes, block names, and connections. So, why did we even bother moving our index finger and adding all these blocks? Well, here's why. Now you can use a single block with our speed value to distribute that value to all 4 keys. Add a float block from the variables section and enter our speed in it. 1000. Connect this block to 2 blocks where positive values are used. That's forward and right movement. Don't mix up the axis you're connecting to. For forward movement, it's the y-axis. And for right movement, it's the x-axis. Now, let's think about how to turn our value into a negative one. You don't have to think for long. Just multiply this value by -1. Add another block. It's in the math section. It's named the same as the section itself. Math. Place this block before the backward movement vector and distribute our speed to it. Connect the speed to the first input and change the addition mode to multiplication. Enter -1 in the second value field. Now, this block will receive a value of 1000 from our first block, multiply it by -1, and pass the result onto the vector block. Copy this block and place it before the left movement vector. Distribute our speed to it again and pass the result to the x-axis. Start the game. If everything is working, we can move on. If any key is not working correctly or not working at all, go back to the script and double-check all the values, axes, block names, and connections. So, now our scheme is much more flexible. If you want to make the ship more agile, you can do it in one click by simply changing the speed in the float block. For example, I'll change the value to 5000. Now, my ship moves 5 times faster. This is far from perfect control, but for starters, it will do. You need to cool your brain down and gather your strength for the next lesson. So, that's all for today. And remember, for a programmer, the most important things in life are eating and, of course, self-improvement. Goodbye for now.